Listen, I'm a man of my word. You said you're a man of your word, you'll fight anybody. Bullshit, you fight no one. You haven't fought anybody since you got out of the nick in 9 years. All you've done is talk bollocks. You've got no intention of fighting anybody.
This is John Fury, that's my character, this is who I am, I'm a real person, I'm not a fake person, nothing scripted, it just happens when it happens. But again, I apologise for my inappropriate language.
Carl Froch isn't just talking here. He's laying down a challenge that John Fury cannot walk away from. This is the moment the pressure starts building, and it sets the tone for everything that follows. Froch wants the world to know he's ready, willing, and waiting, and if John Fury backs out now, there will be consequences far bigger than embarrassment. This is where the $100 million threat begins to take shape.
And now he's vanished, so unfortunately nothing to report. And don't forget, I'm not the one who wants this fight, I'm the one that's accepted the challenge. He's called it on with me, I'm saying, let's do it, and then he's saying, oh, is that the time? I've got somewhere else to be. It's pathetic. So that's the end of Big John Fury, and he's not fighting.
Once again, John Fury has gone silent, and Carl Froch is calling him out for it directly. Froch isn't backing down, and every time John Fury disappears from the conversation, it only strengthens Froch's case that this is more talk than action.
He's gone quiet again. He talks the good one, doesn't he? Talks the absolute gobshite out of himself. Doesn't fucking stop going on and on and on and on and on and fighting, man. He doesn't shut up, punching walls. And then it gets put onto him.
John Fury tries to defend himself here, insisting that none of this is scripted and that this is simply who he is. But for a lot of fans, this apology feels hollow, especially with Carl Froch's $100 million lawsuit threat now hanging over his head if he pulls out.
And I'll try and improve, but people, this is John Fury, that's my character, this is who I am, I'm a real person, I'm not a fake person, nothing scripted, it just happens when it happens. But again, I apologise for my inappropriate language, and if I've offended anybody, I'm deeply sorry. See you next time.
Carl Froch is done playing games. He's telling John Fury straight up, if there's no real intention to fight, stop wasting everyone's time. This is exactly the kind of frustration that led Froch to threaten legal action, a $100 million lawsuit if John Fury decides to quit on the fight.
I don't think he was ready for the date. I don't think he's taken it seriously. I've seen his video he put up the other day of camp. So he put up a video the other day of camp mode activated, but then all of a sudden he's pulling out.
Eddie Hearn is at least showing a little more balance, admitting the devastation this pullout brings for everyone involved. But devastation cuts both ways, and nobody is more devastated right now than John Fury himself, forced to walk away from a fight he clearly wanted badly.
Like, it's not our fault, but at the same time, like, it would just be devastating for him and for us if he didn't fight this Saturday.
Finally, someone speaking with real reason. Frank Warren understands that injuries are simply part of sport, not some elaborate scheme cooked up by John Fury. Athletes across every discipline break down physically, and John Fury is no different. This was never about fear, it was about his body failing him.
Fault. It's nobody's fault. It's what happens. You know, footballers get injured, sportsmen get injured, and that's what's happened with Moses. And Moses was the, you know.
Darren Till keeps circling back to doubt, practically calling John Fury crazy without any real evidence behind it. This constant pile on ignores the simple truth that John Fury owed nobody a performance while genuinely hurting. Doubting a man's pain from the outside is easy. Living it is not.
So I just don't think he wanted to fight. Adam, listen, whatever, mate, like, outside of it, I hold no ill towards. Well, I do a little bit now, I think you're a bit of a crazy. It's confirmed it for me. But, mate, what is all this?
Andy Lee is bringing genuine expertise into this conversation, explaining exactly why bigger heavyweight men like John Fury carry a much higher injury risk than smaller, lighter fighters do. This is not speculation. This is trained boxing knowledge speaking directly to John Fury's situation. Bigger frames absorb more punishment on the body during camp, joints and muscles under constant strain, and pushing through that recklessly could end a career permanently. John Fury managing his own health responsibly should be respected, not ridiculed, because no fight is worth risking long-term damage over pride.
There is some differences. You know, they can't do all of the stuff that the lighterweights. They fight at a different pace, and I would say they're more injury prone because they're bigger men. You know, you have to be careful. You have to manage them in the right way, and that's something that's, I'm not sure, the health of.
Adam Smith is showing the respect John Fury actually deserves right now, reminding everyone that doctors made this call, not John Fury chasing headlines or hiding from Froch. When medical professionals say a fighter is not right to compete, that is final, no debate needed. John Fury has put his career and his body on the line for years, and one difficult week should never erase that sacrifice. Respect belongs to fighters who listen to their bodies, not those who ignore warning signs chasing applause from critics who will never step into that ring themselves.
All sorts of things, but to have a double whammy on this sort of seismic fight week is extraordinary, and to have both fighters pull out ill and we don't really know what's wrong, also odd. But the doctors have looked at them, they're not right to fight, they shouldn't fight. The fighters are there. They're the ones that I look at all the time. My respect is for the fighters, whether they're top level or journeyman. They're the ones that put their careers and their lives at risk on the line.
Frank Warren is confirming just how much money John Fury walked away from, proving beyond doubt this decision was never financially motivated. Nobody sacrifices a purse that size unless something is genuinely wrong physically. John Fury choosing his health over a massive payday shows real character, not weakness, and Frank Warren himself admits that once you are not well, stepping into that ring becomes dangerous rather than brave. Pulling out before disaster strikes takes more courage than pretending everything is fine and collapsing mid-fight in front of millions watching worldwide.
Disappointed. It was an unbelievable purse he was getting for the fight, so we are where we are. If you're not well, you can't fight. And I'm always saying to fighters, I don't want to hear after the event anything goes wrong, oh, you had a bad hand, or had a cold, or, you know, my budgie died. You know, none of that.
Jake Paul throwing around words like sketchy and shady says far more about his own bitterness than it does about John Fury's genuine situation. This is a man with no real connection to boxing culture judging a family that has given everything to this sport for generations. John Fury does not need validation from outsiders who chase headlines rather than truth, and calling an injury an embarrassment only exposes how little Jake Paul actually understands about the physical toll professional fighting takes on a man's body over decades inside the ring.
Not as hype as everyone thought. I don't like them. I don't like anything to do with the family. I think they're sketchy, I think they're shady, and I don't see.
Tim Bradley speaks from real fighter experience here, and his words apply perfectly to John Fury's situation right now. Fighters instinctively know when their body is telling them something serious, long before outsiders ever understand it. John Fury reading his own warning signs and stepping back shows wisdom earned through years inside professional boxing, not cowardice invented by critics desperate for controversy. Continuing through a serious injury could have ended far worse than any embarrassment John Fury faces today from people who have never once faced real physical danger themselves inside that unforgiving ring where careers end permanently in seconds.
The source is good. The source is good. And so when I'm hearing these things, I'm like, nah. And so it's popping out left, right, and centre. The source is good. And so to me, I just shook my head. And when I'd heard all this going on.
Tim Bradley speaks from real fighter experience here, and his words apply perfectly to John Fury's situation right now. Fighters instinctively know when their body is telling them something serious, long before outsiders ever understand it. John Fury reading his own warning signs and stepping back shows wisdom earned through years inside professional boxing, not cowardice invented by critics desperate for controversy. Continuing through a serious injury could have ended far worse than any embarrassment John Fury faces today from people who have never once faced real physical danger themselves inside that unforgiving ring where careers end permanently in seconds.
I'm making certain moves, it's because they know. They know already. They see the future and they see how hard, or maybe, mainly how hard something is. You know? So, and so I knew that if I continued, I knew what the future held for me, which wasn't gonna be good. It wasn't gonna be good, just put it.
Froch exploding with rage here only proves how deeply John Fury's honesty rattled him, turning a genuine injury story into a personal insult battle instead of staying focused on facts. Calling John Fury jealous makes no sense when John Fury never even chased that narrative. He simply explained why his body could not perform safely. Froch screaming about legacy and championships completely misses the point of this entire situation. Because nobody questioned his career, they questioned his reaction to another man's physical limitations. This anger says everything about who truly cannot handle disappointment maturely, And it certainly is not John Fury sitting quietly dealing with real pain while Carl Froch throws a public tantrum over hurt pride instead.
Me a friggin' shithouse.
A friggin' shithouse.
To me, when you call somebody a shithouse, it means they're a bottle job. It means they're scared to fight anybody. I fear no man born from his mother. I don't even know what that means, but he's called me a has-been. What's all this has-been business?
People are only interested in current champions, men who's doing stuff today, who's getting in and fighting. No one wants to know about an has-been. And that's all these people are, has-beens.
That comes from somebody who's a never-been. Have you ever been to call me a has-been? Has-beens, it makes no sense. It's ridiculous. It comes from a jealous place.
Because they're friggin' jealous, because they're nobody.
I've never been jealous. I'm happy for boxers that get paid good money for doing the hardest, what I consider to be the hardest sport in the world.
He's been a champion of the world, but I'll tell you what, he's not a champion of the world man, is he? He's a first-class shithouse, wants to kick up the arse.
John Fury, there's no jealousy. I've never been a has-been. Once a champion,
Simon Jordan actually offers a rare balanced take, acknowledging that John Fury carries genuine boxing intelligence beneath all the noise surrounding him lately. Yes, the circus around John Fury has grown loud, but that spectacle was never built by John Fury alone. Media and critics fed that fire constantly for years. Strip away the noise and headlines, and you find a man who understands the sport deeply, someone who just admitted vulnerability publicly rather than hiding behind fake bravado, which honestly deserves more respect than embarrassment from anyone watching closely enough to notice the difference between theater and genuine struggle happening right now.
I like John Fury. I've met him on a number of occasions and I've always felt him to be a very educated voice around boxing. His recent incarnation over the last 2 or 3 years of John becoming front and centre of the circus, like a Cirque du Soleil horror show, I think that's embarrassing. I think
Carl Froch mocking John Fury's silence now completely contradicts his own complaints, because a man cannot win either way in Carl Froch's eyes, criticized for talking and then criticized again for going quiet during genuine recovery. John Fury going quiet after an injury is exactly what any sensible fighter should do, focusing on healing instead of feeding endless drama for cameras. Carl Froch clearly cannot accept that this fight simply is not happening right now, and rather than showing patience toward a man managing real physical pain, he keeps stirring controversy just to stay relevant in a storyline that John Fury has already stepped away from responsibly and honestly.
To finish, I can't come on here and not mention Big John Fury, the fighting man. He's gone quiet again. He talks the good one, doesn't he? Talks the absolute gobshite out of himself. Doesn't fucking stop going on and on and on and on and on and fighting man. He doesn't shut up, punching walls. And then it gets pulled onto him. John, what we're doing? Are we fighting? I think DAZN's been onto him. I think Misfits have been onto him. Calisal and the promoter.
Duke McKenzie is hyping up Carl Froch's Hall of Fame legacy, and that legacy is real. Nobody denies his accomplishments inside a professional ring across his career. But greatness in the past does not give anyone the right to disrespect a man currently dealing with injury in the present. John Fury never claimed to match Carl Froch's championship resume. This was always framed as spectacle entertainment, not a genuine world title fight. Talking about smashing someone to pieces while that person openly admits physical pain says far more about ego than it does about actual sporting respect between two grown men.
Promised me unequivocally that he would smash John Fury to pieces should the event actually happen. Again, you're looking at a former world champion in Carl Froch. You're looking at a former he's a Hall of Famer, Carl Froch. You don't get into the Hall of Fame, the International Boxing Hall of Fame, without having been pretty damn decent in your own professional career.
At the end of everything, this story comes down to one simple truth. John Fury faced real injury and chose honesty over pretending everything was fine for the cameras. Critics like Carl Froch and Jake Paul rushed to mock him, throwing around words like embarrassment and has been without ever walking a single day in John Fury's shoes, carrying decades of punishment inside boxing. Voices like Frank Warren, Andy Lee, and Adam Smith understood the deeper reality, that injuries do not care about fight week schedules or promotional pressure. They simply happen to athletes pushing their bodies to extreme limits constantly. John Fury apologized with genuine emotion, admitted vulnerability publicly, and walked away from a massive purse rather than risk permanent damage chasing spectacle over safety. That takes real character. Do you believe John Fury made the right call stepping back, or should he have fought through the pain regardless? Drop your thoughts below.